Hi, this is Michael William Denny of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel, and today I want to talk to you about how to expose a true conspiracy. Never in my life have I ever seen so many conspiracy theories. In fact, the mindset of the average person is obsessed with one conspiracy theory or other. And there's so many of them out there, it's hard to know what's real and what's not. In fact, I would say that conspiracy theory mania has gotten to the point where the average person doesn't even know what to believe anymore on any level. Spiritual, political, scientific. I mean, it's gotten so difficult because there are so many conspiracy theories out there. So I want to help you expose a real conspiracy as opposed to just plain craziness. So understand that in order for there to be a conspiracy only exists when there's a payoff for whomever is behind it, meaning that there's something in it for them. They have to gain something from it. There's no such thing as a conspiracy to deceive you without somebody benefiting from it. So that's the first thing you have to ask yourself. When you're looking at a conspiracy theory, you have to ask yourself, okay, what is the perceived payoff? Because if it's a real conspiracy, it will be very clear what the payoff is. I'm going to give you a real easy example. And this is the pharmaceutical companies and insurance. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum on, you are probably just fed up with insurance companies. Well, insurance companies are there to make money, pure and simple. The pharmaceutical companies, the drug companies are there to make money, pure and simple. So is there a conspiracy by the drug companies to make sure that real healing is suppressed so that they can sell more drugs? Absolutely. Is there a conspiracy between the healthcare providers, the insurance companies, and the drug companies? Is there a conspiracy among all of them to keep people on ineffective drugs and ineffective treatments so that they can charge you more money and make money? Absolutely there is. It's very easily uncovered, and it's very understandable. The payoff is very clear. The benefit to them is very clear. It's about money, pure and simple. This conspiracy theory is one that has been I've been introduced to recently. More and more in recent times, I've been contacted by people who want to share with me their belief that the earth is flat. Now, at first I thought it was a joke. So I started looking into this. Now, the only thing I've known about the flat earth people is that in the Middle Ages, because of the lack of scientific awareness, the majority of the people in the church put forward this idea that the earth was flat. And I've looked into some of this flat earth conspiracy stuff, and I'm going to just talk about, there's so many things I could talk about, but I'm going to talk about just one, which is, I've gotten comments like when I talked about the moon, and I talked about that the moon reflects the light of the sun. I've had people get very upset with me and say, the moon has its own light. I don't know if I can follow you anymore because you're saying that the moon is reflecting the sun. So these people are assuming for some reason that I'm a flat earther. I don't know why, but they do. So I looked into it, and there are people who believe that when you look up in the sky at night and you see this big giant disk that we call the moon, there are people that are saying that that is merely a projection. That there is no such thing as the moon, that the moon is nothing more than a projection into the firmament above us on this flat earth. So, here I just want to bring it back to the simple part of, if there was a conspiracy to deceive you into believing that the moon existed when it really doesn't, in order for it to be a real conspiracy, there has to be a payoff. I see no payoff in trying to deceive you that the moon exists when it really doesn't. How does that benefit anybody? How does that make somebody a lot of money? How does that give somebody a lot of power? It doesn't. It just simply doesn't. Anyways, I could go on and on about that, but let's get just a tiny bit tighter in this examination, which is, again, if there is a conspiracy to deceive you, it's because there is a payoff for somebody. Somebody's going to gain money and power as a result of deceiving you. Now, if there was, I'm sorry, it's just funny. If there was a conspiracy to deceive you that the moon existed when it really didn't, do you have any idea how much money, technology, and manpower would go behind this projector in order to project into the sky this enormous projection of the moon so that everybody in the world could see it? How many billions of people? 4 or 5 billion people in the world all see this moon when they look up in the sky. They can see it with their naked eye. They can see it. If this was a conspiracy, this is the absolutely most expensive. I mean, how much money would it take? It would take trillions and trillions of dollars for somebody to keep this, to keep that projection going. Now, what about all the technology involved? Somebody was telling me there's a projector. It's projected up into the sky like a giant slideshow. Okay. Do you have any idea how big this projector, or let's say it's multiple projectors, do you have an idea how many projectors it would take? How are these projectors made? Who keeps this technology working? I mean, it would take, it would take hundreds of thousands of people at least who were constantly working on this technology to keep it working all the time. So how could there be hundreds of thousands of workers keeping this technology working and yet nobody knows about it? And then there's again, who benefits from that? It costs too much money. There's too much manpower. There's nothing to be gained. It doesn't change politics in any way. It doesn't change religion in any way. So this is what I mean. You've got to ask yourself the question. Otherwise, you're just getting silly. And the point is that people who are completely focused and obsessed with conspiracies are people who are trapped in their own fear. These are people who think that they're so minuscule and that the universe is out to get them. On the one hand, the flip side of that is it's pure narcissism to think that you are so important that all of the governments of the world have to convince you that the moon exists when it really doesn't because somehow that benefits them. I mean, this is what I mean. There's just no thought process here. We're just wrapped up in narcissism and fear. So I'll talk more about this because in order to progress on a spiritual level, you've got to get over yourself. You've got to stop taking yourself so seriously. And when you stop taking yourself so seriously, you realize that, yeah, there are some conspiracies out there, but the truth is that there's not nearly as many as we're being told. People are just too wrapped up in fear. So anyway, that's it for now. If you like this channel, go ahead and support it. We're on Twitter, by the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Thunder Wizard. And if you like this channel, I would ask that you subscribe, that you like this video, that you comment on this video, that you share these videos, that you tweet them, retweet them, and get this message out there so that I can spend more and more time giving you quality information, real spiritual truths for free. So that's my goal. Anyway, that's it for now. A lot more to come.